The PGA teeing off on the EPA, the name behind pro golfers, joining more than 30 other groups, saying the agency's newly proposed clean water regulation is a dirty trick. It's going to whack a lot of businesses. Steve, you say there's more green overreach that would smack more than just golfers, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to turn mud puddles into the equivalent of the Mississippi River to have more power, and which means more expenses for farmers. You look at what they've already done in California with water rules and extinct species rules, destroyed a huge agricultural state. They'll do this to the whole country. Right. Mud puddles and little ditches are not the equivalent of the Mississippi River.
And Rick, the hypocrisy of a president who practically lives on a golf course. These water holes have never bothered him before.
I'm shocked that you raised the president in golf. I just didn't see that coming. Look, you know, I've read the regulation. It is simply not as onerous as you want to make it out to be. It is, in fact, a moderate redefinition to make things clear. You cannot be shocked that country clubs are worried about water. You go to Southern California today, everybody's grass is brown and dry because of the drought, but not the golf courses.
All right, but John, I have yet to hear the PGA sound off on the EPA.
Yeah, Rick may be right, but private property is just that, and what the EPA is doing amounts to a taking. And any time federal government tries to dictate what goes on private land, it has a chilling effect because who knows where they stop in the future. It's not about this one, it's what can be down the line.
And EMAC, we know the EPA doesn't stop. That's it. They have tremendous overreach.
I'm going to, listen, water is a need. I don't mind the government overseeing water. Look at what Enron did with the electricity supply in California. By the way, I think the PGA is overreacting. Man-made ditches and ponds are exempt in this new rule.
But Sabrina, people might have a little pond in their backyard that now the EPA would control, not them.
Right, and I don't think the PGA is overreacting. They're a coalition of 35 groups that are all saying that this is an example of the ballooning regulatory state that makes up the rules as they go along. It's a hidden tax on businesses. Let's remember that it's the EPA that is leading the charge of agencies that is imposing regulatory costs on businesses and individual families. I think they're absolutely right to step up on this.
Steve, 10 seconds. Overreaction by the PGA?
Oh, no, not at all. They hate political controversy, so they're going into this because they see a real threat. And by the way, regulations now cost this economy $2 trillion a year, which is the equivalent of most every other economy in the world except for a half dozen. Huge burden. Got to start pushing it back.
All right, coming up, the market hovering.